Thanks for listening to LTG Radio, the Leon Thomas Group Radio Network. It's now time for NRG This Week. NRG stands for Network Referral Group. To learn more about NRG, go to their website, nrg.online. It's now time for another episode of NRG This Week.
Hey everybody, Mike Weiner here, NRG CEO and founder. Welcome to another edition of NRG This Week. I'm going to be running solo today. My partner Leon Thomas is not going to be here. Leon and I have known each other over 25 years. Special announcement, next Wednesday is Christmas and Hanukkah. It's only the fourth time in the history that Hanukkah actually intersected with Christmas. We're going to be doing a special issue of promotion production. There it is on Thursday, December 26th at 10 a.m. So NRG This Week will be next week, Thursday, 10 a.m. We have got so much going on in NRG. Before I bring in my guest on, we have got a major initiative for the end of the year for the current members, where anyone that they bring in, they're going to get 2 months added to their membership. And if you want to reach me, I have been doing this 25 years as of January 2025. So I've been doing this 25 years since I was 35. I'm now 60, ton of energy. If you want to reach me, several ways. Cell number 443-756-9656. Email address, mike@networkreferralgroup.com. The website, which is being redone, it'll be a new website in January of 2025. It's nrg.online. Best thing to do with me is really send me a text. You know, you've seen the show here. You want to come out to a meeting. At every NRG meeting for the new folks, they get 3 referrals. And then once they join, I blow their phone up with 23. Now, some really quick special initiatives. I'm going to be quick so I can get my guest on. Starting in January, we're going to have a revenue share. We're going to have the opportunity to qualify for a 1-week cruise, and we're going to have NRG Bucks. And I'm going to talk about that more in future. I also are going to be able to get into the NRG Hall of Fame. So we're having just a great year. Next year, we're the only local, national, and international networking organization that's doing revenue share, an opportunity for all the members, and our goal is to take 100 members on that cruise in 2026. So we're looking forward to that. So my guest today is Margaret. Margaret is amazing. She just joined NRG on Monday, and before the show, Jay and her and I were talking. I don't usually have someone on this quick. I got such a great vibe. Margaret joined shortly after the meeting. She got 3 names. She joined the Massachusetts group for now. She's out of the great state of Texas. And that's where NRG started after we went global and nationwide with COVID. I then blew her phone up with 23. And, you know, I realized I didn't have anyone for NRG this week. I'm like, who can I bring out? And I wanted to bring her out. So, Margaret, we're going to bring you onto the stage here and welcome. How are you on this beautiful, we're almost the end of the year, so how are you feeling today?
I'm feeling great.
Awesome.
It's a nice,
Well, welcome to NRG This Week.
yes, I'm excited to be here, and I'm really excited about energy. I had that lovely barrage of 23 connections, and let me tell you, it's pretty cool.
I'll tell you what, let's stay with that, and we'll come back to NRG, but I gave you 23. Let me ask you a question. Did you really believe when I said, Margaret, if you join, I'm going to do 23? Honestly, because most people don't believe I'm going to do it. And then a week later, they go, Margaret, Mike Weiner blew up my phone. Did you really believe I was going to do 23? Really?
I wasn't quite sure 23. I thought there'd be some, but not 23. I will say that. And, it's been awesome because I've already gotten booked with over half of them, and others we've reached out. Of course, it's the end of the year, so some of us are connecting into next year, but I'm really excited about it and to meet people and connect and collaborate and grow.
That's awesome. That's awesome. All right, so let's get into what you do. I appreciate all that. Take two, and I'm going to try and have you do 2 or 3 minutes with each question, so that
Okay.
things that you say I can kind of dig in a little bit deeper. So, yeah, if you had 2 minutes, you met someone, you were in a hotel lobby, you had 2 minutes. Give us a quick overview of what you do. I got it, but I'm still learning. If I look down, I'm taking notes. Give us two minutes on what you do.
Well, I guess my thing is I call myself a mindset coach, but my big deal is I'm a unstuck specialist. And what that looks like is whether it is in your business, it's in your personal relationship, or it's with yourself, I help people get unstuck. And the thing about this is that so often what I see with business owners is they think everything is so siloed. And the reality is if you're stuck in one aspect, it's floating somewhere else. And it's so easy for us to focus on one area and not give energy to the other areas. So, what this is really about and what my focus is going into 2025 is I'm really focusing on how we get stuck with relationships. A lot of times we know that our relationships aren't healthy. We don't want to have those difficult conversations. And sometimes we just don't want to get real with ourselves. So I use something called personal geometry to help you break through that stuck point and be able to connect again at a deeper level and communicate better so that whether it means you are going to love it and stay, you're going to leave it and move on to something new, or you're going to redefine it. That's what we help you do.
Thanks for explaining that. When you mentioned personal geometry, I wrote it down. I just wrote it down again. Without giving away the farm, give us maybe a little peek into what, because I know one thing. I was good with math, but you gave me algebra or calculus or geometry, like they say in Jersey, forget about it. I was not good with that. So give us a little, what is personal geometry? Just dig in a little bit without giving everything away.
Well, let me first say it doesn't have to do with geometry as in math, so we are all safe because, yeah, geometry was like my worst class in high school. I
Yeah.
hate to say it. Personal geometry is really, I think, amazing because what it does is it allows people who have an issue, and it can be something small, it can be something big, where they're stuck. They really can't seem to move through. They maybe can't find a solution. They're lacking clarity. And what it does is it allows them to get to the root cause of what's keeping them held back from finding the answers they need and being able to get rid of a limiting belief or something of a scarcity mindset, something that's holding them back without having to regurgitate all of these things that have happened in your past, without your psychological defenses coming in and blocking, like your ego, which oftentimes does. And it allows us to let your body do the talking. It's really cool because what we do is we move things spatially, and your body's going to tell us where your challenges are, and it allows us to come um, to be able to really bring up that issue, to move through it, and to be able to create new designs of what we want life to look like.
That's awesome. I was telling you about the Energy University when we met. I can definitely see you doing. We're going to get probably into February, but Leon Thomas Group, they actually are producing the videos for the university. So, Margaret, you'll be back. I'm going to have you definitely maybe talk about personal geometry. Let me ask you this. I'm going to go business and then personal because it sounds like you're helping people with both. And one of the things with the university, it's going to be holistic. It's going to be everything. It's going to be weight and exercise and self-image. And when you mentioned ego, I thought of what I heard it stood for: evil going on. Have you ever heard that before? EGO. When the ego is out of, and there, if I remember from school, there was the ego, there was the super ego. I can't remember the other one now. Do you remember
Id,
the other one? The
It's
id,
your it.
I almost sound like a school teacher, don't I? The id, the ego, and the superego. What is the number one situation you see? You get people unstuck in business. If you had to, say what maybe one or two things, what are the biggest things? And I know one thing that I hear is people are speaking horribly. They're not, you and I've used this word manifestation. I'm manifesting with the cruise. We're going to take 200 people. I'm not saying, well, we're going to try. I'm like, no, we're manifesting abundance in 2025. What's the number one thing you see business owners, their challenges when they come to you to get unstuck?
I think the hardest thing for people to realize is they're sitting in scarcity mentality. And
Mm.
it is so hard because for many people who I deal with, they've decided to build a business. They build this business, the first couple of years go well, and then they kind of fall out of love. Maybe they plateau, maybe they're burnt out, all of these things. But what they don't realize is they get stuck in this scarcity mentality. And it's really something that's holding them back. And it's hard to uncover oftentimes that that's the challenge in the way. So often we don't realize how we build all these limiting beliefs up as kids and as adults as we go through life. And it affects our relationship with money, it affects our relationship with our employees. Our ego steps in. And really, I think one of the things about that is I think of it more as your ego is kind of like your inner child. It's that part of you that has a need that gets triggered, and so sometimes it can be very self-sabotaging.
Wow. Give us an example. Thank you for explaining that. Give us an example of, without mentioning obviously company name, and I know you wouldn't do that, but give us an example of a success story that you've had. You worked with a client, whether it was doubling their income, getting their confidence higher. You know where I'm going with that. Give us an example, because I want our viewers not to get, yeah, you're a mindset coach and you get them unstuck, and you got some great, I love some of your words, but give us a real life example of someone you've helped so that people watching, they know that, they know me, they're getting to know you, but give us an example of someone that you helped out recently, and what was the benefit from them working with you.
Wonderful. I would love to share this. I
Okay,
do
great.
women's workshops, and I had a woman come to my women's workshop, and she was like, "My business is just stuck. It's just not growing, and I'm kind of falling out of love with it because I'm doing everything I think I'm supposed to be doing marketing wise, but it's not getting there." And when we started talking, I could just kind of feel the negativity, like that energy. It was there, but it wasn't making sense to me because at first, she, like, I've seen what she does in her business. Her outcomes are, very successful, and what she creates is beautiful. She happens to be an interior designer, and so I was just like, something's not jiving here. And as we went through the weekend workshop, one of the things we talk about is your personal relationships. And she started to talk about her marriage. And she's like, I mean, it's like I think a lot of relationships where, marriages where you've been together a long time, we just kind of do our separate things. I mean, he's going to retire in a couple of years. I'm a little younger and, want to keep working. But, we just kind of, yeah, we're there with each other. And, I asked her to inquire a little more, how's communication between y'all? Do you do things together? Are you excited about it? Are you friends? Like, what's happened? And she said, we've just kind of gotten into a routine. We really, we sometimes we clash a decent amount. And so it's just, we figured out how to make it work. Our kids are now grown, and basically they're just there. And without realizing it, what I was hearing is we're kind of stuck. We're not kind of stuck, we are stuck. And so what was very interesting was being stuck in her marriage was translating to being stuck in her business. And I'm not advocating this, so let me preface this, but I will say 6 months after the workshop, she filed for divorce. And 1 year after the workshop, her business has tripled. She is happy. Her energy and aura are totally different. And she said, I just never realized that I was settling and that I was stuck in such a scarcity mentality about my marriage that it was causing me all those same problems in my business. And so, it's nothing, I'm not blaming him or any of those things, but what had happened is that she didn't believe that there could be more to the marriage. She didn't believe there could be more to her, and it had affected her confidence. It had affected her self-esteem. It had undermined her dreams, right? She was just, this is what we're doing. We're doing to get by. And it had translated very, very covertly into her business. And so cleaning, moving that block out of the way then created her to change her aspects on everything. And I just want to preface, it was a good thing that she did that. She uncovered some things about their marriage that she was like, thank goodness we did this. This was like the best thing I could have done. But I think that that's to me, she's now sitting in a situation where money is coming to her, new clients are coming to her, but it's also because she got rid of that scarcity mentality that was blocking abundance from landing on her doorstep.
What I'm hearing from that whole story with that client is they were having issues at home, and that was translating to her company. And you kind of played detective, and you figured out what that was, and then you were able to help her grow her business. So now I'm definitely enjoying getting to know you. We've only known each other a couple of days. We are going to take a commercial break. We're going to go. The interns here do a great job with the commercials. When we come back on the flip side, we're going to ask Margaret why she joined NRG right away. We heard about the 23 referrals, but we're going to take a commercial break. I do want to mention Racquetball Revival with Leon. He does a great job working with kids of all ages. It's more than racquetball, it's also coaching and mentoring. I'm super proud. You see racquetballrevival.com right there on the screen. So we will be back. We're going to talk more with Margaret after this commercial break.
Baked by Brianna has been your Baltimore hometown bakery since 1969. Located in Roxton Plaza, Baked by Brianna. Visit bakedbybrianna.io.
At Rod's Car Repairs, we work on all cars, old cars, new cars, and your car. Car Repairs by Rod.io.
Well, hi, everybody. This is your announcer, Biff Bergman, speaking for Farmer John. Farmer John Luncheon Sausage and Farmer John Luncheon Meat. Either way, Farmer John is easternmost in flavor and westernmost in taste. You can purchase all Farmer John products at your tri-state area, Mike's Meat Market. Go to mikesmeatmarket.com. Mike's Meat Market and Farmer John. What a double play combination.
Hi, it's Robin from LTG Radio reminding you that the holiday shopping season is just a few months away. But you don't have to wait until December to start your shopping. You can do it now by going to Why Wait? Shop Now. .biz. That's Why Wait? Shop Now. .biz. There's no need to wait. Go to Why Wait? Shop Now. .biz. Start now on that Christmas shopping list. And now, back to more LTG Radio.
I'm Leon Thomas with the Leon Thomas Group. Podcast, virtual events, webinars, streaming shows, and so much more. We want to be your partner in all things virtual.
Hey, everybody. Mike Weiner here, NRG CEO and founder. We're having a great meeting with a brand new member. Margaret, she just joined a couple of days ago. So Margaret, now I'm going to ask you. You came to the meeting on Monday. You're very, very excited about it. What went through your head when you and I followed up and you said you'd get back to me pretty quick, and you did. What went through your head after the meeting? What went through your head? And I don't usually ask this question. What was when you knew you wanted to join, what was it about the meeting that you were like, I need to jump in? Because we got the perks coming, and maybe it was the cruise, maybe it's the money thrown at you, Hall of Fame. I don't know. My charming personality, I have no idea. But what did you feel after the meeting? And again, I don't usually ask these questions, but you and I feel like I've known you forever. We vibrate very high. It's very high level. So what was it for you that you were like, I got to get in now? I got to join this organization.
Well, I have to say, part of it was just the energy and the feeling there. One of the things I think I see so often when you go to some of these networking groups, it's just kind of this dead energy. Like, okay, what's going to happen? And everybody was just engaged and connecting and talking. And it really was something where I was like, wow, I want to be a part of this group, first of all. Then I think the thing that I saw that was really nice was being able to say, hey, I've got someone for you. Hey, I've got someone for you. And as somebody who's a little newer to building an online business, I was blessed, but during COVID, I didn't have to go online. So for me, I have maybe a little smaller network than I would if it was local, but it was really cool to be able to say, oh, wow, I can connect with you. And hey, I've got questions for you. And just right from the get go, I felt like I could interact with people. Like there's ideas that I could share, but that I could show up with value as well as be able to get value. And I think it's that value exchange and that energy exchange that made me be really excited about saying, I just want to join now.
No, that's awesome. I appreciate that. Thank you. That's awesome. Let me answer this question. We're going to go about two more questions. What have I not asked you that you're dying to tell our audience, the viewing audience now, and they'll see it in the future as well? Maybe we'll put in a time capsule and send it to the future. I don't know, or to Mars. But what have I not asked you that you would, 2-3 minutes, that you would like to express? This is your chance to, anything business related. We'll get to football in a minute, but what is your message? Maybe it's something with the new year. I don't know.
Yeah, I think for me, one of the biggest things, and it's so funny when I was younger, people would say, when you get older, you understand. Well, I'm older now and I understand, I think. Life is short, and I see far too many people in businesses that they should leave, or in relationships that they should leave, or in situations that could be revived and they don't know how, but because their pride stands in their way, they don't learn how. And I'm at a stage of life where I'm a cancer survivor. I've lost my parents. It's just, I see life differently. And I just really want to help people be able to embrace this time that they have and be able to live it to the fullest, because when you can get out of scarcity mindset and you can move into abundance mindset and truly sit in joy, not just be happy in your days, but actually have joy, then no matter what comes your way, and I'm not saying this, in some, la 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 kind of mentality. The truth is that even when hard times strike, you can still hold on to that joy. And I really want people to have that ability to sit in joy in good days and in bad days, and make the most of what this life has to offer.
You're right. Life is flying. I mean, it's 2025. I'm 60 years old. I was born in 64. I remember growing up with disco in the 70s, MTV in the 80s, college, Big Air. In the 90s, the music went a little crazy. And then remember Y2K, all the computers are going to die in 2000. And now we're a quarter through another century. I don't think we're going to be around 3025 unless AI kicks in, Margaret, and someone wants to clone me and have me running all 36. Mike Weiner 1 or 2 or 3, or you got the real guy. I got one last question for you. You know where we're going? Football. So in Baltimore, it's Ravens Steelers week. It's by far the biggest rivalry in sports. And by the way, I've totally enjoyed talking with you. I know you and we're already friends, and we're just going to continue to develop this. I'm actually working on trying to get down to Texas, not next year, but in 2026, because I've got so many members down there I want to meet, and definitely want to meet you and give you a hug, and have some food together and talk. Who's going to win the game? Steelers, Ravens. Steelers have won 10 of the last 11. It's in Baltimore. It is Saturday night after Christmas. What's your score? And then I'm going to give you already know what I'm going to say, but you tell me what's your score. This is the biggest rivalry in sports. Steelers, Ravens. It used to be Ray Lewis. And who was your wide receiver? Hans Ward. It used to be that. Ben Roethlisberger, Flacco. Now we got Lamar, and you got TJ Watt. Is it TJ Watt? I think.
We're moving in. Teams change, right? Well, I have to say this, okay? So as a Steelers fan, how could I go against the Steelers in general? I feel like, though, right now I want to just say, like, why isn't there a Formula One race so I don't have to answer this, since that's my passion? But I'm gonna have to stick with the Steelers. I mean, you just can't go against them.
What's your score? What's your score? What do you think, score-wise?
I think it's gonna be low scoring, and I think it's gonna be tight. I think it's you're probably gonna be kind of something, maybe 13-14. Someone's gonna mess something up somewhere, I think, and it's gonna be like right at the end.
So you say 14-13 Steelers.
Yep.
It's going to be tight. I'm going with 1 point. I'm saying Ravens 28, Steelers 27. It's going to be a bloodbath. I wouldn't bet players are going to be carted off. And it's, when those two teams get together, it's like a box. It's like Rocky Balboa against Mr. T and Rocky against Drago. Those were my favorite movies, But Margaret, it has been absolutely amazing. Just enjoy talking with you, and I totally endorse you. I love what you're all about. You and I are really on both a high frequency, so I appreciate you being here. There's Leon, our host, saying no. He's probably saying Steelers are going to win. Margaret is a Steelers fan, saying ain't so. Oh my goodness gracious. Leon, you want to put a score up there? What's the score? Get her off the air now.
Hey.
Margaret is one of my nicest members. It's not my fault if she's a little disillusioned. I'm kidding. So anyway, Margaret, appreciate you being on here. I'm going to do a quick wrap up, and Margaret, I will see you at a meeting soon. Thank you so much for being here. Appreciate you, and definitely happy holidays if we don't talk. So
thank you so much, and happy holidays to you as well.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much. So this is Mike Weiner with another episode of NRG This Week. I'll have Leon Thomas back with me next week. We are doing a special edition, Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, New Year's, Thursday, December 26th, 10 a.m. Put it on your calendar. We look forward to seeing you. Get a hold of me. Leon is saying Ravens 33-7. Leon's coming through for me. Leon and I go back a minute and a half. It's been a while. Leon, you heard my score, 28-27, Ravens over the Steelers. So Leon and I'll be back next week. Have a great holiday. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. Happy Kwanzaa. And we will see you next Thursday. Reach out to me. Been a great day. NRG This Week. Mike Weiner, NRG CEO and founder, signing off. Thank you.